you've obviously gotten off to a good start, and every week we ask you about, things that go well, things that don't go well. Do you have any feel for how good this team is? I mean, how much room there is to improve? How good are you? Do you know that stuff yet?
Oh, we can improve in a lot of ways. I think that showed itself really the last couple games. We've got plenty to clean up, that's for sure. But what you're pleased is that you still find a way, and that's what good teams can do. And and I say cleanup, that's not them, that's coaching, that's everything that we're doing, and that's what's exciting, because you haven't kind of hit the what you can be, but as we know, this is the biggest challenge so far in many different ways, so it'll be another good measuring stick, that's for sure.
Challenge got tougher. Is any update on Daniel Highshaw?
Yeah, he'll be out for an extended period of time. I don't have specifics yet, but that's probably the best I can give you at this time. But he seems to be in decent spirits and considering everything. And yeah, I'll let you know more as we move along.
Okay, you had mentioned you were hoping to see him Saturday night. Did you?
Yes. I was able to see him at the hospital, and he was doing a lot better than I could have expected. Kelly and I had stopped there. Our training staff, medical staff, did an outstanding job, as well as the people at the hospital. His father was there and his uncle. And you get a lot of people there, and there's things going there. In fact, he was getting ready to be discharged, and so, considering all that was, some of our team doctors were coming in, so we kind of made sure everything was there. Everything was arranged for him and his family for the evening, and then let those people do their job.
Wonder what the position looks like without him. Does it have to be adjusted, and also Kai's availability this week?
Yeah, Kai's been practicing more, and we sure hope he is. I thought Kai had a good day today, but he's kind of in a day-to-day type mentality, and so you get into, it's Devin and Sevian, and Torrey's been, has played in games, so it's, that's what we have available. We talked about the depth of that position, and we can't let one right now, but you're getting to the halfway point, and, the body isn't the same, so we got to make sure, and we've been utilizing a lot of people offensively, and we've got to find a way to keep doing that.
Last one real quick. I wonder what you see when you look at TCU's quarterback, Max Duggan.
He's playing really, really well. But I was impressed with him last year. I really was. And he's completing about 75% of his passes in a lot of different ways. They utilize him in the run game, which makes it even more difficult. Bigger body, a physical runner, but deceptively fast, and he showed that in his long run. Safety thought he had an angle on him, and he outran the angle, and that was impressive. That really, but I would say, much like we think of Jalen, but that's a different body type, but he can run. He's not afraid to put his shoulder down and run over you. He's going to outrun you. He's making the quick throws very well. He can throw the deep ball. He's got a great set of receivers. It's going to be a challenge. But I think he's gotten off to a great start, and since he's taken over the position, and Coach Dykes has done a great job in that system utilizing his talents.
To a great start this season. What do you feel like the running back room and offense as a whole will miss while he's gone?
Well, you could see the different things he gave us. He had good speed. He showed himself as a receiver, but I think his running style and physicality is one. He was probably one that separated himself. I thought he had a couple of those runs Saturday. And again, there's different styles there that all complement each other. Now you got one piece of that group that's going to be missing, unfortunately.
Gavin Potter wasn't with the team on Saturday.
Gavin's left the program.
What conversations did you have with
There
him?
wasn't a whole lot. It was, he has decided that, he was going to, wanted to redshirt, and then move on. So, unfortunate, that's because of the way things are set up today, those are happening across the country, and that's disappointing, and but not always surprising either.
And how do you feel like we talked about the linebacker depth a lot this season. How do you feel like that group kind of responded and it set
Very
up for
well, very well. I
success?
thought Eric Gilliard and Lorenzo McCaskill played probably their most collectively, and I thought both of them played well. I think we still have, between our sub packages, I think we've got a lot of flexibility. Taiwan and Rich can go outside and play and have done it before. If Craig needs help, and Lorenzo and Eric I think are two of our most physical linebackers in the inside. Again, there's depth and competition, and we've talked about that in the past. And I think the ones that are here are embracing it.
After the game, Sam Burt described Brian Borland as being joyful about the performance. What do you see from Brian, and do you think that's accurate?
I mean, he's not otherwise. Yeah, he makes me look kind of like jovial, right? Brian's pretty, he's been through this. As most I've known Brian a long time, and though he may not show it, there's a lot of days he's extremely happy and proud, but he's very even keel and professional in everything he does, and that's why he's kind of one that can. He's kind of in the background a lot of times, even as a coordinator. He's not the guy that's ever going to self-promote or do any of those things. He does his job, and when things come together, sometimes he's happy. He knows, because some of our other wins, as we know, were high scoring, and we gave up points, and those are, I don't know what you guys ask him on Wednesdays, but I'm sure he's had plenty of questions that he's had to answer. And to see us make some stops, and even to hold them to field goal attempts, was huge. Whether they made them or not, that's, you always have a good chance when that happens. So, a lot going on down the locker room and everywhere else. I have to go after the game, so I don't get a lot of time really with anyone. I never saw Andy after the game. Didn't see him till Sunday. I take that back. I probably saw him in the weight room with recruits. But, I saw Brian. I saw a big smile on his face, pretty excited. But so Sam probably hit it on the head.
Do you feel like it meant anything more to him, just as this, building the program progresses?
No, I can't say that. I'm not going to speak for Brian there, because, like I said, Brian, we've been together 16 years now, and Brian Borland's called a lot of great games, made a lot of great adjustments, and to kind of see some things come together now at this time. But, but like I said earlier, he probably flicked on the film or something and watched TCU put up 660 yards and 50-some points, and he, hope he did it after he went to sleep, but at least Saturday. But, the next challenge and the next thing on. And there's one thing I think for some of us that have been together for a while, especially Brian and I, is that, whether it be at the Division III level or not, but when you played as many playoff games as we were fortunate to do, 5 games in a season many years, you don't have a lot of time, dwelling on the past. Not like you do a ton anyway during the season, but sometimes with common opponents, you got a little more background, but you get on to the next one. You got to get on to the next one. And I think Brian's one of those guys, and he's always going to do that. So, but I think holistically, not just Brian or the staff, but the players, there's a different set of confidence from that. And what I think, again, is good for us, I think we ended up winning in the special teams and on the defensive side of the ball, which was probably slightly different than the other ones, which shows that you can be a holistic team.
You mentioned Sevion, you mentioned Torrey, but just what about Sevion specifically? Sevion Morrison, do you feel makes him ready for stepping up in this moment?
Yeah, absolutely. He's worked hard. Another guy, for any of our guys, that especially the newcomers that were in other programs, sometimes, the role at the moment can not maybe always be what you hoped it was or thought it would be. But he's kept a good attitude. He's worked and been used in different roles. He showed his abilities on that kick return. I think that kick return is hopefully something that will continue to propel his confidence in other ways offensively.
What does it mean to get game day here and all the excitement, and will it change your schedule?
I'll have to remember all those, Gary. Now, what does it mean? I think it means a lot for this program as far as its, where we're at and kind of being viewed now a little bit. I think it means a lot to this athletic department and university and hopefully campus. Yeah, because, you kind of hear about it for a couple weeks or whatever. I don't know how they decide. And, that should be neat. And I hope it adds to atmosphere and everything that people know about this place and things that our fan base and people will continue to build upon. Should be hopefully a shot in the arm in the recruiting game, not just for this year, but for future years, for something to happen that hasn't happened before, as well as being ranked. Did I answer most of that on game day? Okay, and then what's it mean schedule-wise? Haven't really found out everything yet. Are you talking team-wise schedule? Right now, we have no plans on changing everything. And I think the one thing for us that, again, never, the other time as a head coach, I was part of it, was we played at Western Michigan when we were at Buffalo. And it being the visiting team, it was different. And that's when Western went to the Cotton Bowl. That ended up that year. You still have your normal media obligations with the national people when they're there. I think it's more probably in an afternoon or night game that may change the schedule if you have to be around at all, but I haven't found out. I think they're here now surveying some things, and I'll find out more as we go along.
With 3 sellouts in a row, assuming...
I was going to say, did we...
No, I mean,
okay.
assuming that it'll happen again with the fans all fired up, and you're ranked number 19, they're 17. Does it almost feel like this is the highest level of football you could have imagined coming to KU?
That's a great question, because I don't know if I really took the time to say what would that be. And I knew a year ago that we're a ways away. So to say I could imagine that at this time, no. I wouldn't have viewed it as failure if we weren't either. I think that's what I try to do a good job for this program of keeping that in balance. But yeah, there's probably a moment you got to pinch yourself a little bit. Yeah, yeah, if we can sell it out again, and hopefully it's something that we can, maybe some of those people that are coming are thinking about, I better get a season ticket, because they may not be as easy to get in a decent spot in a season. And as far as a matchup, again, that says something about what TCU has done as well to be where they're at, and to get this type of matchup, I think is probably surprising to a lot of people around the country, but it should be a great game.
The defensive line, was that the best they've played all season on Saturday, and how important is it for them to replicate that against a good TCU offensive line?
It's going to be important for us to play. I think we talked, Michael, for a long time about what we need to do up front all year, from where we had to start being better defensively. I thought Malcolm Lee had a very good game. Caleb Sampson's played extremely consistent. I know Sam showed up. Eddie has flashes. A guy who didn't play a ton, but really made a few plays. It's actually going to rhyme here, a ton, but was Tommy Dunn. I thought Tommy made some plays. And, again, Lonnie, Jeremy are doing some good things on the outside. So, yeah, I would say that was our best game up front. And now this is a big, physical, athletic offensive line. It's... some of these guys are going to be playing on Sundays for TCU in that offensive line. So it's going to be a big challenge, like I said, in everything that they do. But, for us, it's always going to start up front.
Hey, Coach. Is there anything that you saw on Saturday after, reviewing everything that you see that you need to improve on offense to kind of keep up with TCU?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we were nowhere near the consistent offensive unit on first and second down as we were the first 4 games. That caused problems. We self-inflicted penalties sometimes after some plays. There's a lot there that we have to get better at. We'll see some things that'll be a little similar schematically, so 2 weeks in a row should give us a better understanding. But we need to make that happen. And now, just like the offensive side of the ball, very athletic defensively. You see more man-to-man coverage, very confident secondary experience that can do some things. True freshman nose guard who's playing extremely well, and some depth and athleticism at the end positions. So, and their linebacker core, they can roll a few in that are fast and physical type guys. So it'll be a little different style of game than probably for us than it was a week ago.
And you probably won't get to watch it, but is there one thing about Lawrence that you want them to showcase on game day?
Wow. Well, I hope they do something with Mass Street. I would hope. I don't know. I'm looking at Matt. I was like, I don't know. I'm choking on this one. I apologize.
We got 2 more for the day, and then that.
Hey, Lance. Obviously, with success comes a lot of distractions, whether it's game day or people linking you to other jobs or whatever. How do you approach that? Do you talk about it and then move on? Do you ignore it with your guys?
Game day, we talk about game day. We talk about what we have to do. I'm sorry, I kind of cut you off there. I'm sorry.
How do you approach it with your guys? Do you ignore some of it? Do you talk about it?
We tried to talk a little bit yesterday on game days that there's part of it because their hard work made this happen. So, I don't want that to be taken away from them. But again, I don't know how it all works, like I said earlier. So I don't know how much of it we're even around for versus, we get off the bus and go in. So, that's at that time. There's a reason that over 3 million people will probably be watching because that's how many watch that show. So that's really neat. And so that part I want them to embrace, but they also have to know that when the ball's kicked off, they have to go back and, we have to do and play at a level that, earn that opportunity and hopefully would get another opportunity. So it was a quick mention. And anything after that is to me, is wasted time with our team because we're focused on this. I'm focused on this. We're extremely happy here. We have no plans of going anywhere. And anything like that is just, rumors. And again, when some of this things will happen, we're in film rooms and other stuff. I don't even know what's going on. I didn't even know some of the stuff that was going on Sunday until later in the evening. And I'm getting, all of a sudden I got all these text messages. I got no idea. And that's, so. Anybody else? Oh.
Yeah, following up a little bit on that, I wonder, just big picture, and not even relating to you necessarily, but when you see coaching changes and guys getting fired early in the season around the country.
Jason Bean's a starting quarterback. Gotta go back.
You want to go there instead? but I wonder what your opinion is on all that stuff. I mean, this is a business that's near and dear to your heart, and you've been in it a long time, and you're seeing it become that more and more these days. Do you have any reaction to where this is all headed, irregardless of you?
Yeah, I probably be, Paul Chris is a friend, if that's what you're asking. He's known Paul since probably high school, knew his late father, tried to recruit me. The Wisconsin Platteville, that's a good family, good man, and it's just unfortunate with guys who average 9 wins a year get let go. And, it's part, I guess, what we've signed up for now these days, and it's a changing world in a lot of different ways, and that's unfortunate. And it's unfortunate for the locker rooms, and I think we lose that as well. And there's a lot of components, and I'm not questioning anyone's decision because there's a lot of factors that go into these that none of us really know. So that's the part that, but that's me as a person and a fan, not as a coach. So.